What's up, y'all? My name is Jonathan Tyler. I appreciate y'all clicking on the video. Today I'm going to be working out and talking about my upcoming super match that I have against the #1 220 in Texas, Ryan Carter. It's going to be at Cactus Jack's here in Baytown, Texas on April 6th. At the end of the video, I'm going to show the second time me and Ryan Carter got together and had some practice pulls. So make sure you stay to the end, and I appreciate y'all following along with me.
You must be Ringo. Look, darling. Johnny Ringo, the deadliest pistolier since Wild Bill, they say. What do you think, darling? Should I hate him?
You don't even know him.
No, that's true, but I don't know. There's just something about him. Something around the house. I don't know. Reminds me of me. No, I'm sure of it. I hate him.
Me and Ryan are kind of friendly rivals, I guess you could say, in some ways. You figure out pretty quickly in this sport who your rivals are. You kind of know if y'all are close enough to be rivals. A lot of the times there's a strength gap or a size difference that can exclude y'all from being rivals. In me and Ryan's case, we're similar in height, we're similar in weight, which is pretty rare because me and him are both very tall. So it's rare when we match up with somebody else that's similar to our height. You know, Ryan has done some chirping online, which I think some of that was directed at me. I think he also acknowledges that we are rivals, and he is worried about me to a degree. You know, there's always going to be some up-and-coming lion or gorilla or something that wants to take your spot or wants to be the new guy or the next dominant alpha. And Ryan's the guy right now. I think sometimes people don't realize, you know, they'll face somebody like Ryan or myself who is taller and has some leverage advantage. I think Ryan is good at keeping most people out of their power. So most people look at Ryan like he's this invincible arm wrestler that they haven't gotten to any of his weaknesses. They haven't felt any of his weak points. I, on the other hand, am long enough and have a dominant enough hand myself that he has a tough time top rolling me, which is his main weapon. So I think he feels that threat in me. But, you know, I do have that advantage of being that hooker with a strong hand that I'm not super intimidated of his top roll or his long arm and big hand. But, you know, partially why I'm working on what I'm working on. I do think it's an advantage being a tall hooker, because if you're tall, somebody's trying to like out leverage you or go over your hand. It's harder to do that when you're tall and you can get that position easier, I would say. That being said, though, there are a lot of people that kind of write you off and say, oh, you know, it's just that leverage you got on me. Don't be stuck in the trap of thinking that somebody just out leveraged you and that's why your hand got taken. Don't underestimate how hard they've worked on their hand. And don't underestimate how hard you need to work on your hand. You know, maybe not all of it's about leverage, and maybe part of it's just that you haven't worked on your hand enough. Or don't just give yourself the excuse that you don't have a leverage advantage. And, you know, a little bit of backstory too, and I won't go too into this, but when I first got into arm wrestling, there was only one club in Houston, and it was the Conroe Arm Wrestling Association, which is like way north Houston, very far from me, which is very south Houston. I started a team kind of after the original member that got me into arm wrestling. Well, we were Team Wolf, kind of from my buddy Eric Wolf, who I pulled at a tournament and he hit me up. We started practicing. It was just a few of us to begin with. We started getting more and more guys. Eric Wolf moved to Pennsylvania, unfortunately. He was a great guy and an awesome arm wrestler. I kind of took the lead in some ways of forming the team after that. Then we became Team IUF, Immovable Object Unstoppable Force. So we were the second team in Houston, okay? Now, I don't want to go too much into why, we're not a very active club right now, and there's different reasons for that. Some of our bigger, stronger guys just aren't really arm wrestling right now for one reason or the other. And I don't necessarily want to have a club that's just like for a bunch of like sub 200 guys to get together and pull. I have a good training partner and my twin brother, and I'm having to make these long videos. I don't have to, but But yeah, Ryan formed his team a little bit after me. So I formed the IEFs, and then it seemed like within a few weeks or maybe a month or two, he formed his own team, the Grim Grippers. So there's really 3 teams in Houston, and I'd say Conroe's, the original team, is still the strongest one. I mean, they have the biggest guys, the strongest guys. The Grim Grippers, they're more consistent, Ryan's team. My team has kind of fallen off a little bit, but I do plan on hopefully having us practice more. If I come out of this Supermatch uninjured, I'm healthier than I ever have been. I just want my team to hopefully attract some stronger guys, some bigger guys, but our team is in kind of a hiatus. Me and Ryan kind of are rivals also in that sense that he's also formed a team at a similar time that I formed a team. He's kind of the leader of his group. I'm kind of the leader of my group. And the super match in some ways will determine who's got the strongest leader, you know, for their team. So hopefully I don't let you IES down. All right, well, I'm just gonna show you all the right-handed stuff. I'm still gonna be training my left hand, but I'm not gonna make y'all sit through the left-handed stuff also. So a classic wrist flexion exercise. I do it probably a little bit different than most people. I would say the advantage of doing this seated off your knee is that when the weight is the farthest away from you is when it's the hardest. And when you're doing it off your knee, it's like right when your wrist is kind of cracked back is when it's the hardest. So I want to strengthen that area as much as possible. I also kind of do what I call a fingertip curl, where I let the weight ride down into my fingertips before I bring it up. I don't know if I'll even show you all the warm-ups to it, but I go 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, and then 75 pounds, and just try to do a bunch of reps and possibly have a rep PR. All right, top set, 75 pounds. I'm gonna try my best to get a rep PR on this. I couldn't do it. Whew, I've matched my original max with 12 reps. I really tried to get that 13th rep, but one going up. That's okay though. All right, so I did a pretty conservative warm-up leading up to that top set with 75 pounds. And now on the drop sets, I'm gonna just try to beat the amount of reps that I did with my top set. And it's actually more challenging than you would think to try to beat the reps on that top set, because you went to a maximum as far as how hard it was. Now with 60 pounds, I'll try to beat 12 reps, and with 50 pounds, I'll try to beat what I did with 60 pounds, and with 40 pounds, I'll try to beat what I did with 50 pounds, and et cetera, et cetera. All right, for these drop sets, I'm gonna stop talking and just let some music play and show y'all the rest of these drop sets. I kind of try not to go to a maximum every time, because if you're already pretty burnt out from the top set. If the next drop set, you completely burn yourself out, the next drop set will suffer, and the next drop set will suffer. So you wanna go until it starts burning and then kind of stop. Just the right hand. I'm doing left hand also again. I'm trying to be patient when it comes to arm wrestling. I know that this is a game that takes a long time to really get good at, and there's a lot of smaller muscle groups and connective tissue and things like that that you have to get stronger to excel, which just takes time. And I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. I honestly wouldn't have taken this super match if it wasn't offered to me and the opportunity, came knocking, because I would have preferred to have been 100% healthy. I feel healthier than I've ever been. That's why I did accept the match, but I wouldn't have challenged unless I felt like I was 100% good everywhere. I'm still fairly new to arm wrestling, so I still think I kind of have some of those newer gains and newer injuries and things like that. Getting stronger is just about breaking down and rebuilding. Whenever I did fully break down my inner elbow and it really got hurt for like a year and a half, when it did finally heal, which there was a time for a while where I thought maybe this is a permanent injury or I'll never come back stronger from it. And there are some injuries that are career ending, but it did come back stronger than ever. I do feel like everything that's connected into my elbow, my wrist flexion, my fingers, now is stronger than ever. I feel like my side pressure is stronger than ever. So I think, with the brachialis being a little injured, having some kind of other elbow issues, I'm not fully where I want to be. And, maybe this is me making a little bit of an excuse for if I do lose, but I am patient in the sense that even if I do lose this match, which I think there's a good chance that I could also win, I wouldn't shy away from challenging him at some other point or feeling like I deserve a rematch at some point. Although I may just be too much even where I am now, even with the injuries I have now. I'm fairly confident that I'm strong right now. I think that Ryan's gonna have to be a bad dude to beat me at this point. And he might be too strong on the day. But to beat me 3 times is going to be a difficult task for anybody. So I know he's got his work cut out for him. I got my work cut out for me too. I know he's a strong opponent. I'm hoping for a good match. But anyways, my next exercise, I'm going to be doing curls. I'm going to try to keep them as strict as possible. I will scoop at the end. So it's I'll start, kind of bent back. And then as I go down, I'm going to wrist curl it in. And then up. It's the way Levon does it, or a lot of the Europeans. This is the way they curl. So, all right, I'm going to show you this top set with 75 pounds, and then the rest of my drop sets without talking or anything. I feel like this video is going to be long enough as it is. Hopefully, you'll get some kind of motivation seeing me work out, though. You might be stronger than me, you might be weaker than me, but you can have something to compare it to. Maybe you'll get some kind of motivation or some kind of ideas for your own workout. And yeah, it always helps watching somebody else suffer, although it usually seems like it's easier than it actually is. Get after it, get your own workout in, and make those gains. That's a PR. For the left hand, I've been doing hammer curls because I got a little inner elbow on the left arm. I might show you all this top set in case I PR, because usually like my wrist gets buckled on the way up. Oh yeah. Oh, I'd say that's pretty clean. Started to buckle. All right, drop sets, and I'm gonna continue showing exclusively the right hand. Oh, I'm dying. Ooh, that top set took a lot out of me. Alright, I can't beat that top set with this one. Sometimes your top set will take it out of you so much that your subsequent drop sets, you won't be able to do as much. But I'll still try to beat that number that I did 60 for, I think I got 15 or something, 15 or 16. think I'm gonna end it there. For now, I'll leave y'all with the second time me and Ryan pulled together. It was shortly after he formed the Grim Grippers, and I was going for a top roll at the last pull, and there was a lot of pressure going for a top roll. I would have got him, but again, he's got a strong hand, and I was like locked in there, and I'm just feeling more and more pressure towards the pin line, and then pop, and it was like the thumb knuckle popped. I don't know if it broke or if it was just like the joint itself popping, but it hurt. I mean, for a while after that, just like holding a plate, you know, with your fingers under it and then the top thumb kind of supporting the plate, even that hurt for a while. I'm sure he's proud of that fact, or at least happy that the ass whoopings that I was giving him stopped. But a strong dude, good competitor, again, a rival of mine. Check out these pools me and Ryan had. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all got something from that. Tune in to the matches. If y'all are in the area, you know, or even if you're not, travel up there. If I'm not too beat up after Ryan, I'd like to pool y'all. Subscribe if you're not already. Like the video if you liked it, and I appreciate you guys watching.
Ready to go?